Day number 2.
Bill, committee stage continued.
I declare the House in committee for further consideration of the Royal Society of New Zealand Amendment Bill. Mr Chairman.
Mr Speaker. The House in committee for further consideration on the Royal Society of New Zealand Amendment Bill. Members, when we last considered the bill, debate on Clause 5 was in progress and Dr Rajan Prasad had the call. He's got just under 3 minutes, should he wish to avail it. If not, to some other member. Honourable Marianne Street.
Mr Chairman, it gives me great pleasure to contribute to this debate on the Royal Society of New Zealand Amendment Bill. Mr Chairman, it was some time ago when we were last debating this bill on a Members' Day. We've had a 2-week recess in between and the usual passage of time between Members' Days. So I would like to do a little bit of a recap, but particularly to address the clause at hand, which is the interpretation. So, first of all, the Royal Society of New Zealand Amendment Bill is supported by the Labour Party, and we look forward to its passage in due course. Thank you. The interpretation clause, Mr. Chairperson, is the clause that defines particular references in the bill. And I want to talk particularly about the subclause 2 in clause 5. And this refers to section 2 of the Act itself being amended by adding the following definition in its appropriate alphabetical order. And it's the definition of the humanities. And this is the point about this bill. This is one of the substantial points about this bill. It is the addition of the humanities to the scope of the research and the reach of the Royal Society of New Zealand. No longer will it be simply about science and technology, although that's not simple, but no longer will it be solely about science and technology, but it will have an expanded brief to include the humanities. So this is absolutely critical at this point in the debate, Mr. Chairman, because we are seeing what the definition of humanities is in Clause 5, sub-clause 2. And so the original, if I can just describe this for a moment, the original clause in the bill said that the humanities includes English and other languages, history, religion, philosophy, law, classics, linguistics, literature, cultural studies, media studies, art history, film, drama, and American studies. Now, the Select Committee quite rightly amended that because the addition of American studies seems a little bit odd in a definition of humanities. I've got nothing against American studies, but I don't think it needs to find its way into a piece of legislation that defines the scope and the brief for the Royal Society of New Zealand. And so the Select Committee saw fit to delete "and American studies," to insert the word "and" between film and drama, but also to delete the words English and other in front of languages. And so it just came back from the Select Committee as humanities includes languages, history, all of those other things I listed, art history, film and drama, and it stops at that point. So it deleted the reference to American studies and it deleted English and other in front of languages. But I would like to pick up here the supplementary order paper in the name of Te Ururoa Flavel, which I'm quite keen to support, because Te Ururoa Flavel, on behalf of the Māori Party, one assumes, has amended the definition of the humanities further. So instead of just saying humanities includes languages, the Māori Party is putting up includes languages and in particular te reo. And after the reference to cultural studies, the Māori Party has inserted Māori studies. And so what are we to make of the Select Committee's amendment to the definition of humanities to delete the reference to English and delete the reference to American studies? Mr. Chairman.
I call the Honourable Marianne Street.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To delete those references and then to insert a reference to te reo and to Māori studies. Well, Mr. Chairman, this is significant, because this is not the Royal Society of Canada Amendment Bill. This isn't the Royal Society of Australia Amendment Bill. This isn't even the Royal Society Bill, this Amendment Bill, the original Royal Society. This is the Royal Society of New Zealand Amendment Bill. And I beg your pardon? I missed it. I really want it on the Hansard, Mr. And so the insertion of the reference to te reo and to Māori studies by the Māori Party has our support, and I think this enhances the definition of humanities. So to be clear, the definition of humanities would read, given the amendment by the Select Committee and the Māori Party's SOP in the name of Te Ururoa Flavel, it would read like this: humanities includes languages, and in particular te reo, history, religion, philosophy, law, classics, linguistics, cultural studies, Māori studies, media studies, art history, film and drama, full stop. The inclusion of those two additional pieces provides the uniqueness that reflects the uniqueness of the Royal Society of New Zealand Amendment Bill and the Royal Society of New Zealand governing legislation, and it reflects the uniqueness of New Zealand. There is nowhere else in the world where speakers of te reo are indigenously located. There is no other place in the world where Māori studies can be undertaken legitimately in situ, where Māori people reside. This is our uniqueness. This piece of legislation and the fact that it extends the brief of the Royal Society of New Zealand to include humanities is rightly amended by the inclusion of te reo and Māori studies. So, Mr. Chairman, I think what we have here, just in this sub-clause 2 of clause 5, which is what we are debating at the moment, we have a significant enhancement, not only from the Select Committee's amendment, but also from the supplementary order paper from the Māori Party, which will improve and illustrate the uniqueness of the brief of the Royal Society of New Zealand. And so to that end, Mr. Chairman, I commend both the supplementary order paper and the amendment bill itself to the passage of the House. Thank you.